Americans never leave America. 50% of Americans don't even have passports, and now I completely understand.
Europeans who are visiting the US for the World Cup, let me tell you something. You can...
The cool thing about the United States.
Americans will be like, why are you so obsessed with us? We live in rent-free in your head.
Whenever Europeans...
It amazes me how many Americans I have met that have never left the country.
Now, the Europeans are hilarious. The ones that are visiting over here, and
Europeans need to realize that us Americans don't really care or think about Europe as much as they think we do, or as much as they talk about America. Because especially on this app, I see...
Being a Brit from the UK, we all have a perspective of what we think America is like.
By the size of America to people who don't believe how big it actually is, who've never been there. And it's this fact right here. And it blows my mind, and I've been to America. If you...
We're the greatest country in the world. And why is it?
I can totally understand why Americans never leave America to go on vacation when you got stuff like this on your...
Stop scrolling. What if everything millions of Europeans believed about America was completely wrong? The stories you're about to hear changed minds forever, and the biggest surprise isn't what they found. It's why so many suddenly understood why people never want to leave. Before we begin, subscribe right now, because this channel uncovers the stories mainstream conversations often miss. If you enjoy discovering the unexpected side of America, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Imagine arriving expecting disappointment, only to discover enormous cities, breathtaking national parks, welcoming communities, endless road trips, and opportunities around every corner. For many visitors, the biggest shock wasn't one attraction. It was realizing America felt far more diverse, exciting, and unforgettable than they ever imagined.
Americans never leave America. 50% of Americans don't even have passports, and now I completely understand why. I'm back in Texas, and traveling to even a different part of Texas is like traveling to a different part of the world. I'm at Schlitterbahn, a water park, and where we are now was all founded by Germans, so everything has a German reference in this whole town just outside of San Antonio, and that's completely different to where I was in Dallas, and obviously where I've been in Boston, Atlanta, Washington. Everywhere you go in the US, it's like a completely different world, and I now understand fully why Americans don't travel anywhere apart from inside the US, because you can go anywhere in the US and get a completely different experience depending on which state you're in. I do love being back in Texas though, and this water park was fantastic. Being in a Texan water park was a great experience. Country music was blaring, everyone was super friendly, free Coca-Cola all day, which blew my mind for $20. That would never happen in Europe. Not to mention everything else, I've got something so exciting planned for tomorrow, which I'll share with you more tomorrow. But look at the weather. It's not as hot as what it was in Washington. It's a perfect summer temperature to go to a water park. But I'm so excited to show you what's coming next, and I'll see you tomorrow.
To the Europeans who are visiting the US for the World Cup, let me tell you something. You can Uber for some place that's like 5 minutes away. That's like half a mile away. You can do it. I know in Europe you can't, because I tried and this motherfucker said that's 500 meters. Whatever the fuck that means. He kicked me out of his fucking taxi and told me you could walk that 500 meters, you fat bitch. He didn't say you fat bitch, but he might as well have. So I'm letting you know you can Uber, because America is literally fucking highways and gas stations, and sometimes you just can't walk it.
Americans will be like, why are you so obsessed with us? We live in rent-free in your head.
Whenever Europeans talk about American culture, or I guess a lack thereof from their perspective, I always get so confused because I think America has like a really, really good culture, but they seem to see it different. I didn't really get it until I was talking to someone about American music and American food, and I referenced like, you know, the origins of rock and country and hip hop and rap and all of that, as well as like soul food, barbecue, stuff like that. And I was like, America has good music and really good food. And their response was with a straight face, that's not Americans though, that's black people. And I was like, oh, that's racist. I mean, I shouldn't expect anything less. It's a European, but like, it still surprises me just how like overtly racist they can be. Worse than Americans, way worse.
It amazes me how many Americans I have met that have never left the country. I would honestly say more than half the people I've met here have never left the United States. The majority of Americans that I know don't even have a passport. To fly around the United States, you only need your driver's license. So for Americans that have never left the country, they've never had a reason to get a passport. But after living here for a few years, I know exactly why a lot of Americans have never left the country. They just don't need to. And to piggyback off of my previous video, every state is like a different country. For example, I live in Texas, right? If I want to go somewhere cold, I'll fly up to Alaska or Colorado. Or if I want a beach trip, I'll go to California or Florida or South Carolina. Flying from Texas to California would be like flying from London to Greece or London to Portugal. Or how I would have gone from London to the French Alps or the Swiss Alps for skiing. You would just go from Texas to Colorado or Albuquerque to ski. So besides historical landmarks like the London Eye, Big Ben, the Eiffel Tower, all them things, America has everything that you would leave the country for. We would leave cold and rainy London, England, to go to sunny Spain, sunny Portugal. Whereas if someone here lives in like cold and rainy Wisconsin, they'll go to sunny California, sunny Florida. So now I understand it. America has everything that the rest of the world has to offer, besides all the historical stuff. So if I was born and raised here, I probably wouldn't have left either.
Here's the moment that completely changed their perspective. Many Europeans assumed America would impress them for a few days before the excitement disappeared. Instead, every new city revealed another surprise. Every conversation challenged another stereotype, and every experience made leaving even harder. If you're enjoying stories that challenge expectations, subscribe now, because the next video might surprise you even more. From vibrant small towns to iconic skylines, from incredible hospitality to the sheer variety of landscapes and cultures, visitors discovered there was always something new waiting around the next corner. By the end of their journey, many weren't asking when they could go home. They were already wondering how soon they could come back for another unforgettable adventure.
Now, the Europeans are hilarious, the ones that are visiting over here in the US for the World Cup, because we go to Europe and we go to like the Eiffel Tower, the Colosseum, like all of the Big Ben in London, all of these like massive attractions that are beautiful and old, and there's a reason why we go over there and we're in awe. Meanwhile, they come over here and they're going to like Waffle House, Wendy's, high school, football stadiums, and they're just like, their minds are blown. Yellow school buses. Now, I'm not like trying to trash them or anything, but like just like the levels of like awe are like not even, I don't even get it. I am having a hard time wrapping my head around that for them.
Europeans need to realize that us Americans don't really care or think about Europe as much as they think we do, or as much as they talk about America. Because especially on this app, I see so many videos of like Europeans making videos like about America or just like issues going on like in America. But then they have the audacity to be like, oh, but Americans, they're so obsessed with us and what we have in our country. Like, dude, I promise you we're not. Like, I'm not one of those rah-rah, you know, America's perfect, we can do no wrong. I'm not one of those people. But when I hear Europeans make videos on this app about us and just like talk down on like how we do things in society, it instills like a rage in me. Like, I want to fight for my country now. It's like I get an adrenaline rush, but it's like fueled by America. In their videos and comment sections, it's always the same thing. It's like, oh, Americans wish they were us. They wish they could do what we did. They wish they had this. Like, bro, nobody cares. I promise you. Like, you guys think about us so much more than we think about you. Like, it's actually insane. Because I'm not here sitting on a Saturday night thinking, what is the UK doing right now? No one cares. And some of the stuff y'all be flexing, it's just not a flex. Like, I saw this one video of this dude from Europe, and he was talking about how a lot of places in Europe, they don't have air conditioning. And he was trying to flex the fact that he was like, oh, Europeans, we're just built different. You know, we can handle heat. Like, we don't need air conditioning like you Americans. Like, that's not a flex, bro. I can only imagine the smell that comes from y'all with being in a hot room on a hot summer day with no AC. I can imagine not having AC during the winter. Try that during the summer day with no AC in a room. Y'all, that's not a flex. That's just disgusting.
Being a Brit from the UK, we all have a perspective of what we think America is like. We all think they love fast food, they don't eat healthy, and they just sit at home, relax all day, don't work. Listen, that's what we think. But no, it's the complete opposite. Literally, Americans do not like a lot of fast food. They're into their fitness. People love soul food. People love to cook. People love exploring. People love going out. Honestly, being a Brit, we get told different things, we see different stuff. So I'm coming here, experiencing it and understanding people's life. It is so good. Literally, if you're not from the USA, you need to come here. You need to experience what it actually is like. And also, we don't really know that there's 50 states. Well, unless you're like me, I didn't know there was.
There's a fact that I use to verify the size of America to people who don't believe how big it actually is, who've never been there. And it's this fact right here. And it blows my mind, and I've been to America. If you now were to drive in Europe across France, Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, Luxembourg, Austria, and Switzerland, so 7 different European countries, and you took the amount of time you drove across them countries in Europe, you still wouldn't make it across Texas. You still wouldn't. How insane is that? And that's just one state. I use that fact all the time when I try and tell people how big America actually is. You can drive across seven European countries, and in the same time, if you did that across Texas, you still wouldn't make it across Texas. What? What? And that's one state. There's 50 states, man. What? And if that doesn't verify you how big America actually is, then I don't know what will. I literally don't know what will. Absolute mental. There's a fact that
We are the greatest country in the world. And why is that? Well, everyone wants to come here, obviously. They really don't, to be honest. You're just jealous. We're number one. Number one in what? Poverty, mass shootings? What do you mean? Freedom. Didn't they just take away your right to abortion? There's freedom in God. Okay, sure. We think we just need to give up on them. Yeah, no, they're a lost cause.
I can totally understand why Americans never leave America to go on vacation when you got stuff like this on your doorstep. Like, why would you leave? It's beautiful. We're in La Jolla, I think I've got that right. And what a beautiful place. We're going down past Seal Rock, and it's one of the most beautiful places I've seen. And I mean, I've been fortunate enough with my family to go along to all of these places. And we're fortunate enough that the weather turned around, because yesterday it had a storm, it was a rainstorm, and it was scary as hell driving in it. But the sun is out today, and it's incredible. We've got palm trees everywhere, beautiful sea. I get it. I get why you don't come to the UK. There's no need. It's just incredible. I mean, look. Unbelievable.
I hear a lot of people saying Americans aren't well travelled, they can't point out Switzerland on a map, they don't know anything outside of the country. Of course they don't. I wouldn't if I lived here, bro. If I lived here, yeah, I wouldn't give a fuck about any other country. I'm gonna keep it real. Every state, yeah, is like its own country. I don't think people realise how big this place is. This place is massive. Put into context, yeah, in Ireland I can get a 45-minute flight, be in Amsterdam, be in England. Totally different countries, bro. Miami is about fucking 8 hours away from Orlando, bro. I thought it was around the corner. I didn't realise how big this kip was. Americans don't need to leave their country, bro. They can go on a vacation inside the country, bro. If I was from here, yeah, and wanted to go on holidays, grand. Going to fucking California, going to New York, not leaving the country. I don't give a rat's about anywhere else if I lived here, to be honest. Oh, I get it, why people say Americans aren't well travelled. Bro, they are well travelled. This place is huge. If I was American, I wouldn't give a fuck about any other country. So, if you are an American and you feel bad about it, bro, you're not missing out on anything. This place has everything and more. So, don't feel bad. But unfortunately, it's my last night here as well, which is so sad. Bro, I'm gonna miss this place. Look at this street, bro. This is American out shit. I'm gonna miss Walmart, Target, and all. Ireland is shit, bro. I'm not looking forward to going back. Look, the fire hydrant is still there. Still holding the fortress down, bro. Strong. Sad, sad times.
Americans, I got a question for you. Why, and can somebody explain to me for real, why nobody walks in your street? Why everybody drives all the time? Why there is zero transportation in your country? Why is so complicated to walk around in your country when you don't have a car? I don't have a car, and this is hell, guys. And it's so cute. Your streets, they're so beautiful. Why nobody walks? Why? Look, I'm working for like an hour. No problem. I have my BMW fit. Everything is good. It's probably something super European. But to me, walking in those neighborhoods, it is just so pretty. I love it.
I left the US 8 months ago, and something that shocked me is that nobody likes America except for Americans. And even a lot of Americans don't like America. When I learned that people have no interest in visiting the US, I was shocked because I thought, isn't the US one of the best countries in the world? But I think that's what they teach us in the US. People think Americans are loud, disrespectful, unruly, obnoxious, pretentious. One of my European friends said, you know, I typically refuse to hang out with Americans, but you're all right. When Americans come to Japan, they're usually shocked that Japanese people don't speak a lot of English at all. And they'll say, why don't they speak English? But you're coming to someone else's country where they speak their language. Why don't you learn their language if you want to visit their country?
For some reason, we also have to measure everything differently. Feet, inches, miles, pounds, Fahrenheit. When everyone else in the world uses meters, kilos, and Celsius.
As a Canadian, I'm sick and tired of having to pretend like I hate the United States of America. Because quite frankly, I love that country and its aura more than anybody can comprehend. If I got a serious job offer tomorrow and the ability to move there, I would take it. Not because I could make more money or because there's cheaper things, because I genuinely love the spirit of America. Yes, it's chaotic. Yes, it's uncertain, but it's a country that embodies the idea of burn the boats. A country whose core identity and ethos has delusion built into it, and where delusion is celebrated instead of talked down upon. You don't think that we can do X, Y, and Z? Screw you. Watch us. I love America. I love their delusions of grandeur. I love their pomp. I love their pageantry. I love the fact that they fly military aircrafts above a stadium with 60,000 people in it during football games. I love the fact that anybody from anywhere can move there and make something of themselves if they're delusional too. I hate that because I'm a Canadian, I have to pretend like I don't love the United States of America.
I'm curious on like Europeans' opinions on why they don't like Americans.
I'm an American that's been living in Amsterdam for about 8 years now. I'm completely integrated. My partner is Dutch, which is why I moved out here. I speak the language. I've got primarily Dutch friends. And here are some of the reasons why I have found that the Dutch, particularly, don't like Americans. So the Dutch mentality is all about nuchterheid is the word that they use. And it's about being down to earth. It's about being level-headed. It's about being just like everybody else. Nobody is better than anybody else. And if you look at the American mentality, it's completely the opposite. It's about trying to be better than everybody else, trying to be the star, trying your hardest to be something. They find that type of mentality completely rude, dishonest, and how they like to call it, fake. The second biggest reason is because Americans are brought up with the idea that America is better than everybody else, this savior complex that they saved everybody. They are the example, and that couldn't be further from the truth. If you look at things like gun control, healthcare, safety, equality, I mean, the US is the worst. Not admitting to that is something that they completely hate. And lastly, I don't know why, but there is this view that Americans are dumb. We are just dumb to them. I think that's something we're never going to be able to change. They're always just going to view the American mentality, the American mindset as just dumb. After 8 years living here, I can safely say that I totally agree with the Dutch mentality and I share their view on us Americans, sadly. As much as I love my American friends and my American family, I don't love my country, and I only saw freedom and opportunity until I left.
What are you doing?
Just looking for change for the toilet.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's free.
Yeah?
Yep.
Right? Exactly.
Oh, be careful.
Oh, it doesn't stay on?
No. Aren't you gonna tip?
What is this?
No.
What the?
In Europe, nobody understands what is going on in America. So we don't understand what Trump does. No, we think it's totally ridiculous.
It's a bit strange.
In our eyes, as we see it, that a criminal can run for president. That's totally out of order in Holland.
You can have a president who has a conviction, who has been convicted, but the president who is not born in the USA, that's a no-no. Somebody like Clinton, he has to be impeached because he lied. And then you got Trump, who only tells lies. I don't understand it.
But it's also we can't imagine that somebody who's 83, 84, what is he, runs for president. It has often happened that the guy or the woman who gets the most votes doesn't become president. And that's, in our eyes, that's ridiculous.
Oui, oui. Dankeschön. Sì, la cultura europea è molto ricca, ma quella dei bianchi americani? No. Come dicono in inglese, noi siamo the OGs e voi siete the wannabes. Punto, basta.
America is the best place in the world, and I don't care what anybody says. If you want to be successful or you have any ambition or dreams, this is the best place in the world. You're not going to go to Europe. Europe's You're not going to go to Australia. It's full of lazy So where are you going to go? Right here to America, the land of opportunity, where people hustle, where people work hard. And you know what? The government actually allows you to fulfill your dreams. Unlike other places where they tax the out of you, this place helps you achieve your dream. It's a place where you can network, you can leverage money, you can meet people that are like-minded, and you can grow and learn and be the best version of yourself. And that's why for me, Miami is the best place. There's not a city, not Dubai, not London, nowhere in the world like America and like Miami.
Really, really, really great point. Not only is the food poison though, but I would say so is the culture. Right now it's I think it's like 2:22 here in Spain. And everyone's getting on a break to get off to come eat with their families. People are picking their kids up from school. We're getting off work just to have a meal together. Isn't that nuts? But the crazy thing about that is nothing's gonna change until at least everyone notices. For example, if you have a boss that wants you in the building every day at 6 a.m. and you're leaving the office around 10 or 11, that's how my last job was. You don't have time for 4 meals a day. You don't have time for a nap. You don't have time for anything outside of working and figuring out what food you're gonna eat until it's time to work again. I woke up this morning at about 8:15. I went to bed at 11, and I didn't log into work until around 11 a.m. And believe me when I say this, I'm already done with work at 2 p.m. I'm on the way to the grocery store to get more food. And then I still have time for lunch and a nap.
You know, I feel like for the most part, the Europeans that are visiting the US for the first time are doing a pretty good job of adapting to life here in America. But there is one exception, something that I've seen with my own 2 eyes that the Europeans just can't adapt to. And that is our public restrooms. See, I was at this bar with a couple friends because they were hosting this FIFA World Cup event. And everything was normal at first. It was at this standard American sports bar, and on every screen in this bar they were showing the World Cup, and it was like your normal sports bar experience. It's just half the people in this bar were European, and the only reason I knew that was because of their accents. Like, I heard so many different types of European accents from like all over the place, and I was like, oh my god, half this bar is European. Anyways, I'm having fun watching the game, drinking with my friends, when suddenly out of nowhere I have to go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom thinking nothing of it. I enter this bathroom and I see toilet paper everywhere. And I mean everywhere. Toilet paper covering the floors. You could barely see the tile on the bathroom floor. There was also toilet paper on the walls of the stalls and the doors of the stalls. It looked like multiple teenagers TP'd this bathroom. I'm thinking like, what is going on? And then I look over and I see a fully grown man putting toilet paper up on the stall. So I go on and I ask this dude, like, what are you doing? In this British accent, he goes, oh, I'm just covering the gaps in the stalls. He goes on to be like, the gaps are just too big. It's just no privacy. I'm like gobsmacked at this point. Like, I'm just gawking at him in awe. I don't even say a word. I just do my business and I leave because what? This is why they charge you for toilet paper in Europe. They can't trust you with it.
Where are you from?
I'm from Paris, France.
What do people in France think about Americans?
I mean, I don't want to speak for everybody. They think that the situation of the country is like a little bit distressing, but still, you know, we love Americans. It's the land of the free. It's the land of dreams. It's the land of like, everything's possible. It's still very much that feeling.
So do you believe in American dream?
I'm familiar with the concept. Do I believe in it? I don't know. I think it's an interesting idea.